Hi there, thank you for joining me. And today we have a very interesting topic, the algorithm. The algorithm. So let's start. Let's start by looking at our learning objectives for today. And we have about 4 learning objectives for today. We are going to define algorithm. 2, we are going to list functions of algorithm. And 3, we are going to list 2 types of algorithm. And 4, we are going to mention application areas of algorithm. Now, before we continue with that, because there is a connection between last week's lesson and today's lesson, so I would like us to go back and review our last week lesson, where we define program development as a step-by-step method a programmer follows to write a computer program. And we state 3 essential parts of a program: the instruction to accept the data, and 2, the instruction to act upon the data and process it, and 3, the instruction to bring out the output to the user. And we also state the characteristic of a good program, where we have accuracy, generality, readability, usability, and clear to be understood by others. And we mention precautions to be taken when writing program. Do not rush, no step skipping, and follow the instruction in an orderly manner. Now, we look at program development, where we state 5 program development. The first one is problem definition. The second one, problem analysis. The third one is program design. And the fourth one is program coding. And the fifth one is program testing. And we wrote a simple program to add 3 numbers. I believe you remember all of that. Now, back to our lesson for today. As I've said earlier on, that there is a connection between last week's lesson and today's lesson, and that is taken in program development, and we are taking program design, number 3. So, what is program design? We can say program design is a stage in program development where a programmer first writes out the program on a piece of paper using logic 2. Remember, I said a programmer needs to write it on a piece of paper. Doing what? Writing it as a rough sketch before writing the main program. So now if you can see, if you can look at the board, you will see that logic 2 is written in red. So why? Now let's look at what logic 2 is. Now, logic 2 is a tool used by a programmer to design a program using written statements or pictorial representation. That is what a logic tool is. Is a tool in the hand of a programmer using written statement or pictorial representation. Now, the common logic tool is called algorithm. Now, what is algorithm? We can say algorithm can be defined as the step-by-step process of solving problems. Now, for a better understanding of the definition, let me put it in the right perspective for you. So I will redefine the definition as algorithm is a plan to accomplish a task Algorithm is a plan to accomplish a task. I believe you get that. In our lesson, you understand it better. Alright, now let's look at the functions of algorithm. What are the functions of algorithm? 1. Algorithm helps the programmer to present the solution in human language. That is, before he writes the code in programming language, he will first write it out in a language that he understands. 2. It assists the programmer in producing a flowchart. Now, a picture shows more than what a written statement is. So many a times, a programmer uses a flowchart to represent algorithm. 3. It guides the programmer in writing instructions in an orderly manner during coding. Without the rough sketch first to write how the program will look like, a programmer may omit some steps, which is what we see in 4 and 5. And it also helps a programmer not to repeat the same steps. I believe you get that. Now, what are the types of algorithm? We have two major types, the pseudocode and the flowchart. So let's define pseudocode. What is pseudocode? Pseudocode is a type of algorithm that looks like a code written in programming language using sentences and human language. That is, a pseudocode is written in pure human language that looks like a sentence, like when you write a story. Okay. Now, flowchart. A flowchart is a type of algorithm that uses symbols and shapes. And I believe you still remember shapes like square, rectangle, circle, triangle, and so on and so forth. Alright. Now, what does an algorithm look like? You know, we've been talking about algorithm. What does an algorithm look like? Now, this simple algorithm is based on a child's morning routine. That is, for example, if you want to accomplish a task before you go to school, so that you will not go to school late, you can write this step down. And that is what we call algorithm. So let's follow the step together. Step 1, start. Step 2, get up from the bed. Step 3, take a bath. Step 4, dress up for school. Step 5, eat breakfast. Step 6, if weather is funny or sunny, walk to school. S, go to school with somebody else, preferably parents. Then step 7, end. As you can see, all the activities in the daily routine of a child is written in a statement, in a written statement, and that is what we call algorithm. And this particular one is called pseudocode. Now there is another way to represent algorithm, which is flowchart. Remember, we have two types of algorithm. We have the pseudocode and the flowchart. So look at the board. This is a flowchart. We represent this algorithm from in flowchart using this first one, the pseudocode. Because for you to prepare a flowchart, you need to prepare a pseudocode first. So after that, you can now write it the way you want to look at in a picture form. That is what we mean by flowcharts. So as you can see, leave home, check time before 7 a.m., take bus or take subway and reach school. Alright, now the next thing we're going to look at is application areas of algorithm. Application areas of algorithm, where we can use algorithm. We can use algorithm in computing, in mathematics, and in solving human problems. Can we take that again? In computing, in mathematics, and in solving human problems. Now, how do you apply algorithm as a kid? Alright, you can apply it to in mathematics and computing, and you can use it in your everyday task. Now we are going to do a simple algorithm. Alright, a simple algorithm. Now look at this mathematics. If you have to solve this maths with algorithm, what do you think it will look like? So let's solve it together. Now look at the board. Look at the left side and the right side. The right side is algorithm using pseudocode, and the left side is pure maths. So let's start. If you have to add 67 and 48, what you will do is that you write it like the left side of the board. You put 67 up and 48 down. Then you add 7 plus 8, which the answer is 15. Then you write 5, you carry 1. Then you add 6 plus 4, which is 10. Then you add the one you carry, which is 1 plus 10. And the answer will now give you 150. Now, let's apply that in our algorithm. To start with, we start with step 1. Start. Step 2, add 7 and 8. Step 3, write the answer out. Write 5 and carry 1 to step 5. And step 4, add 6 and 4. And step 5, write the answer out and add 1 to the answer. And step 6, end. That is the way we write algorithm. I believe you enjoyed the class. If you have any question, you can ask, and you can watch this as many as you can. Thank you.